Good morning. Happy Thursday. Look at my hydrangea. Isn't it beautiful? I told Penelope, I said, you better hurry because these skies, look at that. We have the weirdest clouds. Ricky! Only one of my elephant ears survived. But it'll probably have a baby and I can transplant that baby. It didn't have a baby last year. Well, yes it did. It's got one behind it. But I'm going to leave it like that this year. And then next year, I don't know. I'll move it or something. I don't know. But anyway, I came out and heard thunder. And I was like, girl, you best be hurrying. Because I don't want to get too far away from home. Because it is, raindrops keep falling on me head. So I told her, you need to get it done, sister. Because we ain't going no further than this yard. Well, let me tell you about my night, okay? First of all, as you can probably tell, I slept in my bonnet, okay? My silk bonnet. And it was a mess this morning. I had to comb it all out and start all over, basically, because, I mean, it was rough looking this morning. It was big. It was real big. But not in a good way big, you know? The higher the hair, the closer to God. Yeah, it wasn't like that, though. It was big. Okay, so I'm sound asleep, and something falls, crashes to the ground. And when Gracie was here, I would think, oh, Gracie just knocked something over again, because that was always. It was always just Gracie, okay? Gracie got herself into all kinds of shenanigans, especially when she was younger. And I would hear things crashing in the night, and I could usually talk myself out of getting up and clearing the house. So I wake up with the sound of whatever to hit the ground, and I'm looking around like, oh no. Here I am in mismatched pajamas and a bonnet on my head, and someone's breaking into my house. That was my first thought. Yeah. My second thought was, well, at least grab your pew-pew, which is right there, you know, your pew-pew, your pow-pow. Which is, hey, come on, it's raining. You gotta hurry. Come on. Yeah, we're not going far because it's raining. Do your business out here. She's looking around like, are you kidding me? I'm not kidding, honey. It's raining. I was like, grab the pew-pew so you're ready for whatever. And then I was like, I think I'm too sleepy to grab the pew-pew. I don't know what to do. Do I get up or do I just go back to sleep and let them have whatever they want? Because I was that kind of tired, you know. Well, I finally got up and I walked out in the hall, and there was a push broom that I may or may not have left in the craft room. Like, I just propped it up against the door, and for whatever reason it just decided to fall in the middle of the night. But yeah, my first thought was, I'm in mismatched pajamas with a bonnet on my head, and to meet my burglar. Like he would care what I was wearing. He might care what I was wearing. I don't know. But I can guarantee you he would probably come close to meeting Jesus. He'd at least come close. Let me get her to do her business. She's not doing a daggum thing. I'll be back. You think people in the Dominican pick up after their dog? Because I sometimes wonder about my Dominican neighbors, if maybe they think I'm crazy. Hey, waving lady. Because, you know, I'm walking around after my dog with a bag. Hi, still raining. Let's go. But I told her, I said, you can't leave the yard. Of course she has to go next door into their yard. So I'm following her around with this bag, waiting on her to drop it like it's hot. Well then, this is gross, but there's something still there. So then I'm chasing my dog around trying to get it, you know. And I thought, oh, hey, it's raining harder. So, yeah, I just wonder, is that a Dominican thing? Do they pick up after their dogs? Or do my Dominican neighbors think I'm crazy? Well, they probably think I'm crazy anyway. Honey, I'm getting wet and you're just standing there. Yeah, okay. We'll be back. Oh, well, I'll be back. Because I'm going to work. It's so pretty. It's just so pretty. Look at that one. I'm going to have to cut some and put them in a vase. Because they're so pretty. If you don't stop stopping. Honey, it's raining. Yeah, it's raining. Come on, let's get in the house. Goodness gracious. That was the most delayed whatever. I'll be back. I can't snap anymore because I've had too many surgeries on my hands, but just pretend like I'm snapping. Trailer for sale or rent. Room to let for 50 cents. No pets, no pool. No phone, no pets, no pool. King of the road. That's the part I was trying to get to. It doesn't matter that I messed up the words. But I felt like king of the road this morning. That's all I wanted to say because school's out. School's out for summer. And there ain't no traffic on the road. So I'm back to being king of the road. Actually, I'm more like queen of the road. Or am I princess of the road? Either way, I'm royalty on the road because there's no traffic. And now I'm at work. I must go in. Hello. Okay, so backing up a couple of days. Today's Thursday. So Tuesday, Naomi came over. And when Naomi wants something, she acts all shy and like she don't want to just come out and ask me. And she's like, Mom went to the store and we're having a movie night and blah. She's telling this whole big old long story, right? And I was cooking. And I said, Naomi. She looked up at me. I said, I'm cooking chicken. Can you just spit it out? She said, can I have some popcorn? I said, yes, you may have some popcorn. So I always bought full-size bags, but Phoenix never finished them all. So when I was at the grocery store last weekend, I found popcorn in like a miniature size bag. And I thought, well, that'll be perfect because she never eats it all. Well, of course, now she's eating it all and wanting another one. You can't win. Am I right? I didn't know if their cousins were still in town for this movie night. I didn't know who all she needed the popcorn for. So I just gave her 4 bags of popcorn since they're small bags. So yesterday, Phoenix comes over. Naomi had gone to a friend's house. So it was just Phoenix and myself. So she comes over and she brings me a bag of the popcorn that I gave them. And it was half popped. It was not open yet. So I know she didn't eat it. It's just she didn't leave it in there long enough to pop the whole bag. And she brought me this bag of half-popped popcorn. And she says, I made this for you, Miss Tracy. And I said, oh, that's so sweet. Inside, I'm kind of giggling to myself, thinking, you're giving me back my own popcorn. But, of course, I didn't say anything to her. And I said, thank you so much. And she said, well, it's in exchange for some cookies. I said, oh. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, so you're giving me back my own popcorn to get some cookies. I see. That's fine, right? So I said, okay. So I go in the kitchen and I always buy them these Nutella cookies, which, I mean, as cookies go, I don't think they're terrible because it's kind of like a shortbread cookie, so they're not super sweet with the Nutella in the middle. So I give her, put a couple of cookies on a paper napkin, like I would give her a linen napkin, and I take them in there to her, right? So she's sitting over there eating her little cookies or cuppies, whatever that is, and she finishes the cookies, and then she's like sneaking her hand over without looking at me to get the bag of half-popped popcorn that she brought for me. And I didn't say anything, and she's acting like she's sneaking it, right? And she grabs it, and I said, you only popped like half the bag, so let me go
and see if I can get some more popped in there. It didn't work. So I opened it and I took all the popcorn that had popped. I was afraid I was going to burn it if I had popped it any longer. But anyway, I took what was done out and put it in a bowl, and then I just popped her another bag, and I put it in a little bowl, and I took it in there to her, and she said, would you like some? Well, it's my popcorn. I said, no, baby, I don't want any. And she was like, okay. So she sits over there eating on her popcorn and playing on the iPad. When she comes over, I really, other than getting her a couple of cookies, I don't even know she's there, because she just wants to sit on the couch and play on my iPad. She doesn't care anything about making a mess or getting up and dancing. Now, she will play her TikTok videos. They'll get on a repeat, and I'm like, okay, move it along. It's time to move it along. So, anyway, we had a nice time. A good time was had by all, okay? Now, yesterday, earlier, when I went out to walk Penny, Naomi and Phoenix and little Domino were outside, and their mom. I squatted down to hold Penny's head so Domino could pet her, because I'm still not real sure about Penny and Domino. So I said, just don't come up near her face. So he come up and he was petting her on the back, and I was holding her head, you know, and I was talking to her, telling her what a good girl she is and all that stuff. But I'm squatted, right? And Naomi comes over and gave me the most backhanded compliment you could ever give. She said, wow, you squat pretty good for an old lady. Thank you. I said, yeah, I can still squat. And the most important part is I can still stand up. And so I stood up, and then I squatted back down, and she was like, yeah, that's pretty good for someone your age. Ah! I said, why, thank you. I said, yeah, I guess my knees are young. It's just the rest of me's not. And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, you know, when I was her age, my grandmother was probably 60, and I thought she was ancient. So I get why they think I'm ancient, because, you know, 60 to a 10-year-old's pretty dang old. 60 now is not old at all. I just thought it was funny because she told me I could still squat pretty good for an old lady. Thank you. Yeah, I can squat and I can stand up, and I can squat, I can stand up. Yeah, for an old lady, it's pretty good. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, I love you. Jesus loves you. We hope he's coming back soon, because people be crazy. And I'll talk to you on the next one, okay? Toodles.